Driver's Seat TV, the gold standard in Canadian automotive TV journalism.
With the price of gas around the $1 a litre mark in Canada, you would think that premium SUVs would be an endangered species. Well, you'd be wrong. There are more than ever on the road these days, and many of them are coming from Europe. The newest company to join the party is Volvo, with a new Volvo XC90 V8.
As much as anything else, the XC90 V8 represents a big step up market for Volvo. Make no mistake about it, this is an expensive piece of kit with a starting price of over $65,000, and that's before extras and taxes. This puts it in the company of rivals such as the BMW X5, Mercedes ML 500, Volkswagen Touareg, and maybe even the Porsche Cayenne. That's pretty heady company, and the XC90 V8 has got its work cut out for it in this hard-to-please market. What separates the XC90 V8 from its stablemates is a very trick 4.4-liter V8 stuffed into the engine compartment. With a 60-degree configuration, as opposed to the usual 90-degree arrangement, it's very compact and surprisingly lively. It develops 311 horsepower at 5,850 RPM and 325 foot-pounds of torque at 3,900 RPM.
The XC90 V8 is kind of an interesting combination. It's like environmental responsibility slash a can of whoop-ass. Volvo is a very conservative and socially responsible company, but yet the V8 engine gives it lots of power. This has over 300 horsepower, so this vehicle has some get up and go. Does it necessarily jive with their environmental position? Well, who can say, but either way, it's lots of fun to drive.
Technical highlights include internal counterbalancers, offset cylinder banks, and a variable intake manifold for lower RPM torque enhancement. It's mated to a 6-speed automatic transmission with Volvo's Geartronic manual shift feature. This gearbox is built in Japan, incidentally, and connects to Volvo's patented Haldex full-time all-wheel drive system. But here's the interesting bit. The XC90 V8's engine was designed with considerable input from Yamaha. That's right, the motorcycle manufacturer slash piano builder slash ATV builder slash guitar maker, who, you may remember, were very much involved in the Ford Taurus SHO a few years ago. Ford, of course, is now Volvo's parent company. Volvo is claiming that this V8 engine is the most compact unit of its kind in this market. Either way, it'll take the XC90 V8 from 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in just over 7 seconds. The XC90 V8 wouldn't be a Volvo if it didn't have a full complement of safety features. Standard safety equipment includes Volvo's side impact protection system, side impact airbags and curtains, roll stability control, dynamic stability control, and traction control, along with anti-locking brakes and the all-wheel drive system, which has a so-called instant traction feature that reduces the chance of wheel slippage or torque delay during off-road driving conditions. As you may have figured out by now, the Volvo XC90 V8 is loaded with technical highlights and engineering goodies. This is a very complex automobile, and any do-it-yourselfers or backyard mechanics in the crowd will be out of luck here. Kind of hard on gas too. Expect to get 16.4 liters per 100 kilometers or 17 miles per gallon in the city and 10.7 liters per 100 kilometers or 26 miles per gallon on the highway.
The XC90 V8 isn't exactly uncharted territory for Volvo. They've been going upscale ever since they entered the SUV market in 2002, but it is the first time they've ever come up with a V8 engine, and that alone is newsworthy.
Driver's Seat TV, the gold standard in Canadian automotive TV journalism.
With just a quick look at the new Porsche Boxster, you might think that it's pretty well the same as the old car, but in fact, it doesn't have a single panel in common. The Boxster was a huge success right from the start and gave Porsche an enormous boost. Today, Porsche is one of the world's most profitable automakers, but that status was only achieved by building outstanding sports cars. The Boxster is a fairly basic two-seater sports car with a power-operated fabric top that folds away neatly behind the seats. The engine is located pretty well amidships and is hard to find for anybody curious enough to want to see it. There are luggage compartments front and rear, and when observers see these, they wonder where the power plant could possibly be. In short, this car is a masterpiece of design, and looks are only part of the story. Boxster power comes from a horizontally opposed 6-cylinder engine. No surprise in a Porsche, of course. It's a jewel of a unit and comes in 2 displacements, 2.7 litres for the base car and 3.2 litres in the S version. The 2.7 puts out 240 horsepower and 3.2, 280 horsepower. As far as transmissions go, you can choose either a Tiptronic semi-manual with steering wheel shifters or full automatic mode, or a very slick 5-speed manual, 6-speed in the Boxster S. Frankly, I'd go for the manual box any day. It's just a work of art, but the tip is better for commuters and cell phone jugglers. It's pure delight to drive, and the weight distribution is so efficient, it seems impossible to get out of shape with it. The suspension is so well engineered, the car just seems to want to go faster and faster regardless of how windy the road gets. The Boxster has a really neat top, and it's operated by just one button. Just one push down here, and away it goes. It does have a latch to keep it in place, and some competitors don't. They do it all automatically, but it's no great problem. Earlier Boxsters had a hard-to-see-through plastic back window, but nowadays you get a proper glass panel with heating elements. The cockpit fits the performance of the Boxster perfectly, with its hip-hugging seats, chunky, grippable steering wheel, and perfectly placed pedals. The stereo system, though, is a real mishmash and totally non-intuitive. Nothing seems to work the way it should, but who cares? The only music I want to hear when I drive a Porsche is the exhaust note from the flat 6. I'm more than familiar with Porsche's more expensive 911 range, but it's tough to fault the Boxster and point to it as some kind of entry-level product, a kind of beginner's 911. It's nothing of the kind and can stand on its own set of wheels as a roadster of outstanding ability. The accuracy of the steering, the responsiveness of every mechanical component, it all adds up to a special experience. If you need more from a sports car than the Boxster delivers, then you should be racing something. Prices start at $62,400. This isn't the cheapest sports car in its class, but I've driven every one of its competitors, and I think I can say without reservation that the Boxster is just about tops.